I'm afraid Jiraiya boy has died in battle.
Hey everyone, it's your boy, What If God here, back at it again with a new What If. Sorry I haven't been uploading as much as I used to. I just have some things to do outside of, well, things. I do have a personal life, but I'm sorry I haven't uploaded that much. I will try to upload, I'll say at least 2 What Ifs a day. If I can't do a day, then at least every other day. I try to upload 2. If I can, I will upload 4. So, I'm going to try to do better next time. And we're on the road to 7K. So, let's get there. And before we hop into this what if is obviously a villain what if. I don't see being a hero for no fucking reason at all. This what if is a brutal, it's a dark what if. So if you don't like it, please get the fuck off. Respectfully. Anyways. A lot of gruesome activities, bloodthirsty, all that good, brutal stuff. So for those of you who don't know who Carnage is, which is a surprise because everyone should know who he is. One of the best symbiotes out there. Anyway, so I'm about to watch Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. So Carnage is a Clintar, or a offspring of a Clintar. So Carnage is the offspring of Venom. His host is Cletus Cassidy, aka serial killer. He bonded with him through his bloodstream, which makes his bond a lot more stronger than Venom and Eddie Brock's. Carnage is stronger than Venom. So, yeah, surprise, surprise. I don't know if I want to add another symbiote in this one. I'll see if I could. Because I wanted to add his son. Oh, yeah. Anyways, with that out of the way. So Carnage has all the abilities of Venom and Spider-Man. Wall crawl, web swing, strength enhancer, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Alright? He can make weapons and shit. All the good stuff. Now, fair warning, his life is a fucked up life. If you cannot handle it, please leave. Because I know all y'all gonna say that I'm fucked up and all this and that. I'm blaming you. I'm not blaming you. I'm telling you now. So then, shall we begin this what if? We start this what if with Izuku Midoriya being born with his original green hair. As the doctor congratulates Inko Midoriya that she gave birth to a healthy baby boy with a smile. The doctor had a smile on his face. But when he turned to face the new mother, his smile vanished. As Inko's heart was dropping as the nurse quickly rushed over there to grab Izuku. As the doctor handed the baby over to the nurse and rushed over to the dying mother. As her oxygen levels were dropping fast, while let's switch to Inko's point of view, shall we? As her vision was getting blurry, as tears slowly fall from her cheeks, as she weakly wishes out towards her baby. As she mumbles a name, Izuku, she said in a weak voice. All the nurse that was holding the small child noticed and walked over and gently laid him next to Inko. Inko. I'm sorry. As she smiled. and gently hold her precious baby boy, as Izuku knew that she did not have long for this world. As Inko, my bad. As she gently wrapped Izuku in her arms and gently pulled him to her chest. As she placed her forehead against his forehead. As Izuku slowly starts crying after Inko holds her son in her arm, she slowly falls asleep. She starts to sing. Izuku slowly starts to fall asleep. I'm so sorry. She starts to sing with more tears fall from her face. Oh damn, I'm fucking up today. While she sings, stars and moons and air balloons, fluffy clouds to the horizon. I'm not gonna say the rest. She sings weakly, very weakly, as her eyes slowly start to close. That's when the door swings wide open, as the man rushes in calling out for Inko, as the nurses try to keep this man out, as he screams, "That's my wife. That's my wife, damn it. Let me in. I have every right to fucking see her." The man shouted out, tears falling from his face, as the nurses were able to drag him out, while the last thing this man heard was the machine going beep, letting him know that his wife is gone. As the door fully closed on him, while the man fell down on his knees, breaking down as he slammed his fist down towards the ground, screaming, "No. Why, oh God, why?" As he lifted his head up, screaming into the heavens, asking why did this have to happen to him. As the man starts to hear the baby crying in the room once more, as his eyes widen, while he begins to think, it's my fault. If we didn't have the baby, she would still be alive. If I didn't get her pregnant, she would still be here with me. As the man start to turn into something dark, he soon begins to start blaming his own child, not even considering that it's his child, for something, for everything. That's when the doctor came out, including the nurse, while holding the child in her arms gently. Izuku is still crying. He's crying out for his mother, as the doctor told Hisashi Midoriya that his wife had passed away due to loss of blood that is gently placed, due to loss of blood. That is rare, but it still happens sometimes. As the doctor gently places a hand on Hisashi's shoulder, trying to comfort the grieving man. As Hisashi just lowers his head and asks for the baby's name. The doctor would have told Hisashi the baby's name, as Hisashi gently mumbled his son's name, Midoriya. Hisashi said with anger in his eyes. 3 weeks had passed, as now the single father would have buried his wife, as it was raining on that day. One crying, including Inko's best. Shit, I fucked up. Oh damn. While with all their friends and family there, everyone was crying, including Inko's best friend Mitsuki. All but one man, as he started. Damn, I'm fucking up. As he's standing there in front of his wife's grave, while he clenched his fist in anger, being mistaken as a man trying not to cry, as Mitsuki slowly walked next to him and placed a hand on his shoulder, as she told him that if he needs anything at all, just come over and see her, as he just nodded. As she turned around and walked back towards her husband, crying, as her husband just holds her in his arm, comforting her, as weeks, months would have passed by. As Hisashi would have moved his work to Japan, as he would have work almost every single day, not being home. Izuku's grandmother would had been washing, helping him grow. By the time Izuku was 4 years old, his grandmother would have passed away. As now he was faced to stay home, even when his dad was at work. Izuku would not have gone to the court doctor, so he wouldn't even know if he had a quirk or not. So when he started school, he would have met he would have met a kid with spiky blonde hair named Katsuki Bakio. Izuku would have told him that he does not know because he never went to the court doctor. As Bakio would have said, so you're quirkless since you never went to the doctor. And Izuku would just nod, as that's when he would start to get bullied. As Bakugo would use his quirk called Explosions. He'll use his explosion quirk on the small child, as Bakugo would just start to laugh at Izuku and started calling him Deku, meaning useless, as back at home it was not better. In fact, it was just worse. As Izuku was forced to take care of himself, as his father would start to come home late at night, drunk and angry at this. As this would keep going till the age of 10, as things would start to change, as Izuku quirk never showed. So he figured that he was quirkless, as one day his father would had come home early, as he was already drunk, and he starts to yell, saying he was fired due to a mistake that he made. Deku was in the kitchen cleaning when his father came home, and that's when everything started to change. His father would have rushed over to where Deku was. He would grab his hand and swing back as he punched Deku. Deku started to cry. Deku started staring in his face as Deku went down. Easy. His nose started bleeding a bit as his father didn't stop. He reached and took off his belt and started beating Deku. Beating Deku. As Deku was curled up in a small bowl, crying, begging his father to stop. But it fell on the deaf ear. As each day for the next year, his father would go out, come back home drunk, and start to beat on Deku. Not only with his fist and belt, but also chains, whips. As by the time Deku turned 11, things got even worse. At school, as everyone figured that Deku didn't have a quirk, so the B word only got worse. Not only at school, but back at home as well. As his father would start to touch him by playing mind games, saying how his own mother didn't love him, that the only reason she gave birth to him was because it was too late to get an abortion. As one night when Deku was asleep, there was a knock on his house door. As his father would open the door, as he smiled, as a man had walked in with a smile. As he gave Deku's father some cash. As Deku's father nodded towards the room, as the man just smiles. He walked over, opened Deku's door, as he will then continue to walk in, locking the door behind him, as you can only hear screams and crying. Deku begging the man to stop, that it hurts, as hours would have passed, as the man walked out of the room, with a satisfying smile. While he fixed his pants, while Deku was curled up in his bed, crying, hugging himself, asking himself, why is this happening to him? As this would happen to the start of the anime. As Deku was walking to school, his hoodie up, hiding all his bruises that he has over his body. As there was a small villain attack, as he looked up with a small smile, as he watched as a new pro hero commonly would have his ultimate attack, Wood Chain Prison. But before he could fully show it off, another step in, kicking the villain from behind, knocking him out as the new hero did a small pose, and she called herself Mount Lady. As Deku let out a small chuckle as he walked away, getting to school before he was late. As he made it to class, as the school bell rung, as the teacher came in with some papers in the class, as he told everyone to calm down, that he's going to pass around some papers to see what their future hero career want. Basically, as canon, all right. He says, "Who am I kidding? You all want to be heroes." Blah 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 blah. Bakio, did his shit. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. And now after that, let's see. As the teacher would then grab his paper, and he would then say, "Let's see. That's right. You want to join UA as well, right?" The teacher asked as Baka smirked and replied, "Yeah, that right, teach. Only the best school for me." Blah 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 blah. Yeah. And the teacher says Midori won't be the hero as well. Izuku would say it wouldn't hurt to try, and that's basically what happens. As the school day ends, Deku was writing his notebook about the two new heroes that he saw today. As Bakio rushed over, as he snatched the book away from Deku's desk, as he looked over to his two goons that was behind him. As Bakio started to bully Deku, talking to not even to try. Damn, I'm fucking up today. He was telling him to not even try to take the test. That if he sees him at UA, he will kill him. As he blew up Deku's notebook and thrown it out the window. As he was about to leave, but stopped and smiled as Bakio smirked, saying that if Deku really wanted to be a hero with a powerful quirk, then he needed to take a swarm dive off the building and pray for a quirk in his next life. And told that he doesn't kill his new mother. As the three bullies left the class, laughing. Deku got up, left the school, grabbed his notebook from the small pond, and started to walk home. Really not wanting to go home, but he has no money. No money in hand. Has nowhere else to go. So he decided to take a shortcut under a bridge as he made it to the manhole. That's when he was attacked by the sludge. "Yo, kid, I need your body. I didn't know the freak was in town." As Izuku struggled to escape, as his hoodie was taken off, as Izuku was too weak to do anything. As he began to pass out, that's when All Might came in. "Have no fear for all." I'm gonna try to do the All Might voice. "Have no fear, for I am here." As he did a smash, as the sludge villain was splattered everywhere. As Izuku slowly woke up and saw All Might, as he started to fanboy over him, as All Might just smiled. Smiled, holding up a bottle of sludge villain, and gave Deku a autograph, and leap away. But All Might felt something a bit heavy as he would look down to see the boy was hanging onto his leg, as they were on a roof. As All Might starts to scold Deku, as Deku starts to apologize to the number one hero, that he just had a question for him. As All Might just sighed and was about to speak until he turned to a Smart Might form. Deku starts to panic, saying, where it's All Might, and he looks to see Small Might. And he starts to say that you're fake All Might, blah 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 blah. Long story short, he then told Izuku to calm down and that he's the real All Might. He was extremely injured back when he was younger, as Deku just not, because he didn't have a computer when growing up, so he won't know all about all of All Might's battles. As Deku would ask, can he become a hero without a quirk? All Might will fail to see Deku's condition, as All Might would just say, no, you can't be a hero. Give up on that. Then he just left. As Deku just stand there, the last thread of hope being cut, as tears start to run down, as he would slowly walk to the edge of the building with a smile on his face, as there was a loud explosion off in the distance. But he didn't care, as he closed his eyes and took one step forward, as he starts to fall from the building, as he went splat back alley, as he was in complete pain, as he groaned for a bit, as blood starts to pour. Meanwhile, we cut to a different universe. There was a battle going on between Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Carnage. As Doctor Strange was completely angry at, because Carnage had killed his child. As the two heroes was able to separate Carnage from Cletus Cassidy, as when they did that, Doctor Strange cast a spell to send the symbiote to the sun, but he was blinded by rage. He messed up the spell and actually sent the symbiote to the My Hero Academia universe and killed Cletus Cassidy. As when Doctor Strange came to his senses, it was too late. But he believed he destroyed the symbiote. Now we cut back to the My Hero universe. Carnage was in a panic because he knows without a host he could die. But luckily for him, he landed next to a dying teen with green hair. He quickly lashed onto him as Carnage starts to read Deku memories. He then will smile. Not only he was able to find a perfect symbiosis, but someone who might be willing to keep up with the carnage, the chaos, and that he wanted to bring into this new world. The kid just needs one more push. Carnage starts to heal the body and begins to speak to Izuku. We cut to Izuku's mind. He was floating in darkness, thinking that death is boring. That when he heard a voice, "Are you really going? Are you really giving up, kid?" As Deku looked around confused. "Who is there?" he asked, as the voice speaks up once again. "Don't you want to take revenge on all the people who hurt you?" As Carnage forced Deku to relive his memories, as Deku screamed out in pain and fear as he starts to cry once more, as a red and black face shows up with a huge smile. As its tongue hangs out and moves creepy. As Deku just looked up at the thing and asked, "Who are you?" As it smiled in reply, "The question is, who are we?" And to answer that, we are Carnage. And if you want, I can help you get revenge on everyone. I can give you power. As Izuku's eyes widen. Really? Carnage just nods. Deku asks Deku asking what he wants in return for his power. Carnage then just smiles. Never left in reply. Smile. Left. Damn, man. I'm fucking up. He smiles and he says. Then he begins to say, "You see, kid, I can't survive on my own, so I need a host bond with me, and all my power can be yours." Deku would then nods. "Okay, I'll do it," he replies. That's when Carnage starts to combine with Deku, as he was fully healed. As Deku's eyes shot open, as he felt no pain, as he sat up, as he begins to laugh, as Carnage starts to warp Deku's mind a bit, trying to fully break Deku. Meanwhile, he actually did. Meanwhile, back at where the explosion was, All Might was able to save Bakugo, able to pass through his limits. Now back to, he just saved Bakugo. It doesn't fucking matter. Back to Deku. He slowly got up and stretched, as for once in his petty, miserable life, he felt strong. His body doesn't hurt anymore. He began to walk home, not saying a word. As when he finally made it, he walked in to see his dad drinking. As his dad would throw a liquor bottle at Deku, Deku was able to catch it with one hand. As his dad was a bit surprised, despite him being drunk. Deku closed the door behind him as the Carnage symbiote starts to form over his body. As he just smiles, showing off his sharp teeth. Teeth like daggers. As his dad starts to panic, he took a step back to run, but he could not make it because Deku made an axe on one of his hands as he cut off his dad's leg. As you could see the bone of his leg as blood starts to gush out everywhere on the floor. It even sunk down onto Deku's face. His dad starts to yell, screaming in pain as he begged for help. He begged it, which pissed off Deku even more. As Deku would jump on his father, turning his body around. So, they were face to face as he would yell at his father, "Help you. Help? You don't deserve help. All the time you beat me, letting those strange men do things to me, and never helping when I begged for it. You just sat there and just laugh and smile. And you want me to help you, save you." You're funny, father. Really. As Deku's father would just start crying, Carnage will ask Deku if they could eat him. Deku would just smile and nod, telling him to make it nice and slow, painful. I want to hear him scream more. I want to hear him beg for his life. I want him to suffer just as much as I would suffer. Carnage would agree, as he would start with his leg, as he will bite down, breaking or ripping off his foot, as he would then eat up his leg nice and slow, as he would rip bones out of his body, as he would then move onto his arm, ripping out fingernails, biting each finger off, then his hand, as he will rip his whole arm off. Then his shoulder, his blood was everywhere, split on the floor, walls, couch, chairs, It stained the carpet. Even got some blood on Izuku. As Deku's father was just crying and screaming for help. He was begging, screaming. That's when the door was burst open. As a few low-ranked heroes and police were there. Because someone heard a cry for help. So they called for it. They called for the police and heroes. As Deku turned around, he uncovered his face. As they got a good look at this new villain. As some of the cops looked around and saw blood everywhere. As they heard a small cry, it called for help as to see a man with no arms, no legs, blood everywhere. Before they could try to save the man, Deku would cover his face one more. And he will cut his dad's head off, as he will eat his dad's head in front of everyone. As few heroes and police officers starts to vomit, as Deku will throw his father's body towards the wall, as it made a nasty splash sound then the heroes and police got ready, as one of them asked, "Who are you?" As Deku would just smile, and he would say, "We are Carnage." As Deku will charge towards them, as he will rip their bodies to shreds. He will stab his fingers and hands through their body, ripping out their guts and bones, crushing their hearts. As then he will chomp off their heads, eating their brain for nutrients. As the cop starts to firing shots at them, but Deku just took it. As he would change his hand to an axe-like blade. As then he will cut off the officer's arm, beating him down with his own arm. As he will rip his body in half, laughing, having fun. As the heroes didn't use their quirk on, it was nothing. Deku just laughed it off. As then he would then pierce He would then pierce the heroes using his red tendrils. As then their body would be covered in holes pouring out. As Deku would slice their bodies in half once more. He would just toss their guts all around the room. He would be cheering. He would be like, "Yay, yay, it's snowing. Father, it's snowing. It's raining blood and guts." As then he got a bright idea. After a few minutes later, the officers back at the headquarters was trying to contact the unit that was sent to the location. When they received the calls of someone hearing a man calling for help, no one was answering. As Deku stepped on the radio and smiles and leap into the night sky. As the officers did arrive at the location, they saw the door burst down. As they walked in, they saw nothing but blood covering almost every inch of the house. As they see the walls covered in words, Carnage was here. As they start looking around, and he just was disgusted by all the bodies, the guts everywhere. But they noticed a chair as they went over to turn it around. Luckily, there was one person alive. Or, that's what they thought. But when they touched the body, it starts to fall into meaty pieces. As they were horrified, as blood splattered all over them. As then they were just throwing up. But they looked around even more and see more words. Carnage. 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 Carnage was here. Carnage would bring chaos. Carnage. They see the ha-ha words. As then well, the building will explode. As that's where we're gonna leave off, guys. Hope you guys like it. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, so that was just part 1 of the 6K special. Hope you guys really do enjoy it, because I know I did. Anyways, with that out of the way, let me know in the comment section, what future what if you want me to do. I plan on doing more villains, more villain deku. So drop some good villains, you know what I'm saying? And I'll try to see which one I want to do the most. But make sure the villain is brutal, bloody, gruesome. Like they don't care who they kill. They just want to take over or kill. It's some type of villain like that. Because I'm planning on doing those type of villains anyways. So then, bye-bye. See ya.